There is a type of spiritual practice that I absolutely cannot stand, and we're going to talk about it in this video. I guess this is going to be my first official spiritual type video on this channel. Usually I leave this for my Patreon, but this has been bugging me and I just have to talk about it. So this is kind of like a rant, but also I'm going to share some insight, obviously, because you all know I don't just come on here and rant. I do try to add value. So, the type of spiritual practice I'm talking about is the practice of manifesting a specific person or doing love spells. When I was a child, I remember my uncle would buy the paper and we couldn't wait. Like, I couldn't wait for him to finish reading the paper because I will get the paper and I will just go straight to the comics or the horoscope because that's literally the only thing that I read in the paper back then. I read nothing else. But I remember I used to see some ads and the ads would go like this. Get your ex back. Get love back. Get someone to fall in love with you. Get this person to be obsessed with you. Guaranteed results. And I would see those ads in the paper all the time. And I thought they were weird, but I never really explore it any further because I wasn't gonna call the phone number. I was not in love with anyone. It just didn't make sense to me. But I used to see it all the time. But then, fast forward, I'm in this Facebook group. Okay, fast forward a few years later, I'm in these Facebook groups, and I joined the groups because I wanted to learn more. I wanted knowledge. Okay, I wanted book recommendations. I just wanted to learn. I would join these groups about hoodoo, high magic, all these spiritual groups. And every single time I go in those groups without fail, the groups will be littered with posts like that goes like this. Oh, I'm trying to get my ex back. I need a spell to get my ex back. My ex left me. I need a spell to get this guy obsessed with me. And then there was the there was the spiritual groups where the hypergamous girls were hanging out, and then there were these girls that would come in there trying to do a spell on a random man just because these men have money, and it was just so ridiculous. Like it would really piss me off because I'm like, why would you put all that energy into trying to get someone to love you, trying to get someone to come back, someone that left you? Like, what is wrong with you? Where's your self-respect? Where's the self-love? Okay. Like, why don't you take that energy and put it towards, I don't know, maybe manifesting money, doing money spells or something like that? I feel like a lot of the spiritual practitioners, I feel like these people are enablers because I don't understand why these people were on the internet offering to do spell work for these desperate people. Why are you doing a love spell? Do a self-love spell. Okay, like surprise me. Surprise me and do a self-love spell, right? They never do that. Then recently, and when I say recently, I noticed this from back in 2020, where there's this whole niche in the law of attraction manifesting community of manifesting a specific person. It's no different from them thirsty bitches, desperate bitches, bum, raggedy bitches in these spiritual group asking for love spells. Okay, it's no difference. It's the same thing. It's the same energy manifesting a specific person. You would be surprised by some of the comments under these videos, like, oh, my SP. And for those of you that do not know what SP means, it means specific person. My SP is dating another girl. Oh my God, my SP. I'm trying to manifest my SP. My SP does not texting me back, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what is going on? And let me tell you all something. I've never, ever, ever in my life done a love spell. And I've never tried to manifest a specific person because it just doesn't make sense to me. Because why are you trying to manifest a specific person for love when there are billions of people on this planet? Why are you limiting the universe like that? Like, why? Why? And that niche, and this is why a lot of people think manifestation is a continuous drift. This is why a lot of people think the law of attraction is not real. This is one of the reasons why. And again, I get it. If people believe it's not real, That's them. Everybody lives in complete different realities, all right? I don't want nobody asking me to give them a love spell. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, okay? Go on the internet and search one and good luck. But I'm not entertaining that BS. Let me just consult my notes and let's discuss this because I feel like this introduction was way too long. This is something that is very uncomfortable for people to really deal with and face. And by this, I mean self love, okay? Self love and being accountable. A lot of people don't want to deal with this. The type of person, okay? Because I would like to maybe work on a profile, like you maybe profile the type of person that will do something like this. If you are a psychology major or something like that, maybe you can share some of your thoughts in the comments. I would appreciate that a lot. But I would like someone to profile this type of person because, I just feel like, and I feel like it would be super easy anyways, right? Because the desire to make someone obsessed with you, especially through spiritual manipulation, coercion, like love spells, etc. It comes from a place of profound insecurity, abandonment trauma, or low self-esteem, low self-worth. That's where it's coming from. There is no self-love here. So for me, this is the type of person that would want to do something like this. This is the type of person that would be drawn to something like this. I have to remember to slow down. I had coffee. So, first things first, we are dealing with someone that has an inner child wound. This is an emotionally starved inner child. Be most likely in childhood, these people must have experienced, emotional neglect, rejection, abandonment growing up, parents that ignore them. They did not grow up in a home where they were provided with love. So someone like this will equate love with a lot of intensity. Okay, they're looking for a love that doesn't exist, an all-consuming love and being swept up your feet and, really needing this person. Like, it's an all-consuming kind of love that they're looking for. And they also equate love to control because that's why they are trying to do spells to get someone to be obsessed with them, or they're trying to manifest a specific person. All right, because they're really trying to control this person and mess with the free will. But then the whole issue with free will, that's something that we'll have to debate in the future because some people believe that some people don't have free will and others do. But that's a whole nother conversation, okay? They also equate love with chaos because backlash, the backlash that you can experience from doing a spell like this can cause a lot of chaos in your life. The mere act of having someone be obsessed with you, that in itself is what you can categorize as chaos. But they don't see it as chaos, they see it as safety, validation, and proof that they are finally worthy, that they are finally worth loving. Because they can't find that love within themselves. And again, that's not really their fault because we live in this reality where we were programmed to seek things outside of ourselves. If you don't believe me, all you have to do is go to church and listen to your preacher. If you read the Bible and you go to church, they will tell you that God is something outside of you, not within you. Even though the Bible literally tells you that God is within you, they completely disregard that and they will make you believe that God is this man up in the sky or something like that. So the fact that you believe that God is something outside of you and everything that happens to you is because of some outside force, then why would you think that you can get validation and love from within? You are automatically going to believe that you have to get that from without. This type of person is also a control seeker masquerading as a wounded romantic. Okay, so they might say that they want love, but really what they want is control. They want control over the outcome. And the mere fact that these people are obsessed and they want this specific person, that in itself should tell you that these people have an issue with control. They have control issues. Because why can't you be open to receiving that love from someone else? Why does it have to be from this person? Why does it have to be this person? Because you're the one that's obsessed with this person. It's weird. Because if they can make someone fall in love with them and stay with them or never leave them, that's how they feel powerful. And it temporarily, because remember that word temporarily, it temporarily soothes their deep fear of being unwanted. Because at the end of the day, after the so-called honeymoon period is worn off, they are going to go back to feeling unwanted. Maybe their partner was on the phone for too long, or maybe the partner was texting someone and they do not know who the partner is texting, and then they're going to start feeling unwanted like that. That feeling of being unwanted and that belief of being unlovable is going to manifest in ways. So, it never works. Like, even if you do a love spell or you manifest a specific person, it's never going to work out because why? You did not do the work. You did not work on yourself. And it's also a self-hater in disguise that goes without saying this person hate themselves. I'm not even going to get into that. And also, this is the type of person that lives in a fantasy world. Everything is a fantasy to them. It's these people are not grounded in reality. Okay? And I know I'm the least realistic person. However, when it comes to other people outside of you, and free will, then you can't be looking at this person from a fantasy lens. That's a real person. That's a real human being with real emotions, real feelings, real responsibilities, etc. Real desires, real goals. Like, that's a human being. That's an actual person. It's not an object. And I feel like this is how people objectify other people, because when we think about someone objectifying someone, we usually think it's a man objectifying a woman sexually. This is another form of objectification. Okay, because this is a fantasy. This person is in love with the idea of someone than with a real person. Because wanting someone to be obsessed over you and fall in love with you, it's all about a feeling of fantasy, a fantasy in which you're finally desired, you're finally admired, you're finally chosen. And it's always by someone that previously rejected you, someone that previously ignored you, someone that didn't even know you existed. And when women are doing that, that's chasing energy. Why are you chasing a man? Just imagine being a pick me in the spiritual realm. Imagine going into the spiritual realm with that pick me energy. So you are pick me out here in the physical realm and in the spiritual realm. Like, when do you ever get a break? These people are addicted to external validation. Because, the idea of someone being obsessed with you, it means that, yeah, you matter, right? You don't even care if it's real love or if it's a healthy attachment. Like, you don't care. As long as you get this person. And again, these type of relationships, they never work out. They never work out because it was never real. The foundation was built on a fantasy, a nothing. And again, like, I'm not even going to talk about the dark side of this, about the free will and stuff like that, because I do have a nuanced approach to that. I just feel like I've always instinctively been repulsed by this type of practice because I do value authentic connection and I do value sovereignty. Okay, and again, even if you go into the spiritual community, a real, genuine spiritual practitioner or someone that's in the manifestation space, but this is what they're going to tell you. If you want to do these little love spells or whatnot, the only way that it's going to work and it's going to last is if the person already loved you. I know, right? That's an oxymoron, right? Because even Shiva will tell you that if you are trying to use manipulation tactics and psychological tactics to get a man to like you when you're doing these tests, like generosity tests and all that BS, if you're doing all of that, that means that that's not the one for you. Because the one for you is not gonna, you're not gonna be doing all of that. is going to be so easy. When I met my husband, it was so easy. All the games that I used to play and all the tips and tricks and stuff like that that I got, I had no use for them. I didn't have to. I'm not saying that you can't do spells on your partner or something like that because some women they would do these spells where they'll make their husband faithful and I don't want to get into that because again this is YouTube. But you all get what I'm saying, right? But it works for them because that person is already their husband. That person already loved them. That person already committed to them. People are out here trying to manifest a specific person, trying to manifest people that don't even know they exist, manifest people that live in their lives. These people are out here living their lives and in their relationships, and you in the corner looking and going on the internet and complaining about your SP is dating someone else. Really? And again, a lot of these spiritual practitioners are scammers. I believe they are scammers. However, I believe some of them actually do believe what they're doing is right because they actually believe in the work that they're doing. And I get it, okay? To say it's a scam, I can't really say that, but I do believe that some of these people are scammers and some of these people really do believe that it's bullshit and they know people are desperate and they're just taking advantage of desperate people. Because some of these people really do believe in what they're doing, like they really do believe in it. I guess the question people might ask is why would someone like a spiritual practitioner agree to do something like this? Because I'm telling you, a real spiritual practitioner, a real manifestation self-concept coach would tell you that you need to manifest love within yourself. You need to heal that inner child wound. That's what they're going to tell you. A lot of people don't want to do the work because people want shortcuts and love spells and manifesting a specific person. All of that is shortcuts to get what you want, which is love and validation and worthiness. When you should be getting that from within, when you should be working on yourself, healing. A lot of y'all are not healed. That's why, most of the relationships that you have attracted are very much karmic relationships. So, you all need to check yourself. Why would a manifestation coach charge someone money to help them manifest a specific person or a spiritual practitioner charge money to do love spells and stuff like that? Like, why would they do that? And you know why? This is one of the most requested services. These are okay. This is one of the most requested services that a lot of spiritual practitioners get. You all have no idea. If you're a spiritual practitioner listening to this video, you know that the majority of people reaching out to you are people reaching out to you because they're trying to find love. They're trying to get someone to fall in love with them, or maybe you are in the manifest a specific person niche. People are reaching out to you because they are obsessed with someone. This is one of the most requested services. You would think it would be money, right? But oh no, people are just out here really desperate for love. And what does that tell you? It tells you that love is way more valuable than money because people are always seeking it. Even wealthy people are seeking love. There are men out here that have a lot of money and they're still trying to find someone who would love them with even if they don't have the money. Like it's just weird, y'all. Okay. But if you love yourself, if you truly love yourself, would you be concerned about someone just loving you for your money? You will never attract someone like that if you really if you really love yourself because you attract what you are. And if you're a self-hater, you're gonna attract people that hate you. You're gonna attract situations and people that hate you. It's that simple. It's no rocket science and there's nothing to unpack. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but yeah. But yeah, money is the number one reason because these are the services that are the most requested. Love spells, love rituals, manifest a specific person. People out here are making bank because people are so desperate for something that they can only find within themselves. But they don't know how to do it because they refuse to do the work and they want to find it outside of themselves. And this is why people will be out here taking your money. Some of these people actually know what they're doing because they understand. But some of them, they really do believe that you can, do these spells and get external love. Some of them actually believe in their craft, and it is what it is. What's another reason why a spiritual practitioner would do something like this? It's because of their lack of spiritual ethics. Not everybody that does spiritual work is spiritually evolved. Not everybody that gets on the internet and talk about manifestation knows what they're talking about. Some of them don't even practice what they preach. Because manifestation, okay, and more so than spiritual work, okay, because a spiritual practitioner basically have to prove and show evidence that they can do spiritual work, but a manifestation coach, and this is one of the reasons why I refuse, because listen, I'm doing this video because I've been requested. People have requested me to do videos on manifestation topics, okay? And going back to the specific person, manifesting a specific person, that came from Never Goddess work, okay? However, listen very closely, because this is how I know you bitches don't read, and the people that you all are listening to don't read either. Nowhere in any of Never Goddess work did he say that you can manifest a specific person. He never, ever, ever said it. Ever. I'll talk about that later on. Okay, so just hold that thought. If you don't believe me, you could go look it up himself. And you know why I know this? Because I've read his work. I've read his work because I was so confused when I saw all these people on the internet, and the entire platform is built up upon teaching people how to manifest a specific person. That is a niche where, oh my God, people are making so much money in that niche. I hope you all are listening to me, because I'm basically telling you all how you can make money, okay? If you want to quit your 9 to 5 and you want to start making money, this is what you do, okay? You have to figure out what people need help with the most. And usually people want help with their health, okay? People might not be healthy. You can make money. I mean, that's the whole premise of the medical industry, but I'm not going to get into that, all right? People want love. Okay, these are the areas that people have the most challenges and issues in life, okay? Their health, love, and by health, I mean they're trying to lose weight. Like, you can become a fitness instructor, you can become a dietitian, you can sell meal plans, you can do whatever. All right. I hope you all are taking notes. Love, people want love. Okay, so that's why relationship coaches will always get a bag. And don't be mad at these people. These people hustle. What you need to do is take a page from their book, because these people are not going to come on here and tell you what to do, what they're doing. But I will. That's the difference between me and them other people. I will tell you to do exactly what I'm doing. Love, health, and then money. You teach people how to make money. And anything that comes under the umbrella of self-help, because at the end of the day, in order for you to make money, you have to be solving a problem. Somebody has a problem, you offer the solution to that problem. And this is why the coaching business will always be striving. And there are a lot of coaches out there that are not real, they are fake, or some of them are scammers, but you have to use your discernment. Because I'm telling you, because I'm working on another video. I'm working on another video where I'm basically going to address, this comparison issues that we have. People comparing themselves to people and comparing their achievements to people that had a head start. I'm going to talk about that. If you're the type of person that never had a safety net, never had a support system, and you're trying to become successful, and it's very difficult for you, all the people that became wealthy, the people that were struggling and came and they were poor, they worked and they become successful. They all read books and they all invested in coaching and mentorship. They all did this. But I'm going to talk about that in another video, okay? If you're offering to solve someone's problem, you will make money. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, yeah, so why would a practitioner agree to do these type of spells or work, spiritual work? A lot of these people are spiritually bypassing because these are the type of people that will tell themselves, I'm just opening their heart or I'm just helping them reunite with their soulmate. And they will convince themselves of that as a way to avoid ethical implications. It's that simple. How can you tell that you are dealing with a low vibe practitioner or a manifestation coach? If this person is promising you that you're going to manifest a specific person if you buy their course, that's a lie. Because one thing, one thing no one can ever say about me within the 5 years that I've been doing this, one thing no one can ever say about me is that I've ever promised them anything. I can't promise you shit because at the end of the day, all I can do is guide you and give you the information and the knowledge. It's up to you to do whatever you want with the knowledge that I've imparted onto you. It's up to you to do with that whatever you want. If you decide to not listen to what I say, not take my advice, that's fine. That's your free will. But at the end of the day, I'm not promising you anything. Why? Because I cannot do the work for you. This is the thing that people don't want. People want shortcuts and they do not want to do the work. So if this person is telling you that they're going to make someone fall in love with you or they guarantee results, that's a red flag. If when the spell or whatever did not work and they claim that your love life is cursed or blocked and they can fix it, that's a red flag. You don't need to fix your love life. You need to fix yourself. You have to fix yourself, your self-concept. You have to fix everything about yourself. And that's difficult. Because you know what's easy? It's easy to throw 10K at some dating coach or something like that instead of doing the work. If they're doing the spells, or maybe you bought the manifestation coach and it doesn't work, then they're going to offer another course, one that's more expensive, or they are going to be asking for more money to do stronger spells. And by stronger, you know what I mean. It's fake. And then if they are using fear to keep you spending money with them, like for example, they might warn you of dire consequences if you stop working with them. If that's what's happening and you're dealing with someone like that, you need to cut that person off. Okay. You're not gonna get your money back, but just cut your losses and move on. You learn a valuable lesson here, all right? Because at the end of the day, ladies, even if the spells work for a time, what it does, it creates imbalanced karmic cords. It basically binds you to a person energetically through force, not resonance. And that bond, it usually turns obsessive, toxic, or draining. As for the practitioner, they will carry energetic debt from being the instrument of control, right? In someone else's life. And that has a ripple effect, all right? I've heard so many stories of people, doing these love spells and women using menstrual blood for spells and stuff like that. Blood magic is so powerful, okay? I don't play with blood magic. I think I made one video on my Patreon about blood magic, but I have to make another video. That one was about tattoos, and because if you all don't know, tattoos are blood magic. I made a video about that on my Patreon. So if you're on my Patreon, make sure you go listen to that, okay? That thing that you all like to do, putting that stuff in the spaghetti sauce or whatnot, to get a man obsessed with you, that is blood magic, and that is very powerful magic, and that's one of the most difficult magic to undo. If you want someone to be obsessed with you to the point where your life is in danger, go ahead and do that. So, there's something called spiritual coercion, but then that's another topic for another day. But all of this stuff that people are doing is just shadow work dressed in ritual. And no matter how much rose quartz or honey they use, the energy going into that, it always reeks of desperation and ego. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Nothing you do from a place of desperation is going to work out. Any decision you make or anything you do from a place of desperation, it will backfire and it will blow up in your face. Isn't life funny, right? So I'm going to try to wrap this up, all right? But before I go, let's talk about the law of assumption. And a lot of the people that are in the manifestation community, especially if you follow those niche coaches that teaches you how to manifest a specific person, we all know that a lot of their work come from Neville Goddard. His work has been bastardized by these people. And listen, I'm telling you all, a lot of these people are not reading. People regurgitate information that they find on the internet. They go on YouTube and they listen to, I don't know, an audiobook or something like that, and they call that reading. That's not reading. Because for me, in order for me to retain information properly, I have to read from a physical book. Like I have to read the words. Because for some reason, if I'm listening to an audiobook online, for some reason, I never retain the information. Y'all tell me if it's just me. Let's talk about the law of assumption and some of these coaches, right? Right? So a lot of these coaches, they lean very heavily on Neville's teachings to justify manifesting an SP or specific person. For people that are not familiar with Neville Goddard's work, his teachings were about changing your self-concept, not hacking reality to force someone else to love you. This man never advocated for coercing others, especially in ways that ignore consent and boundaries. You using menstrual blood in a spell and putting it in food and giving it to someone, that shit is weird. That's not right, okay? Like, that's spiritual boundaries that you're crossing. And you have to be careful and you gotta know what you're doing. I'm not saying that you can't do spells on people, okay? I'm not saying it because I did a freezer spell on someone 10 years ago. And that spell worked, okay? It worked so well. I never saw that person ever again in life. Never. And Trinidad is a small country. I never saw that person again in life. It's been 10 years. So the law of assumption, ladies, is about living as if you're already the version of yourself that has what you want, not clinging to someone who ghosted you and trying to script your way back into their life. You sitting up there scripting and writing in your journal and writing stuff 55 times and doing the absolute most to manifest a specific person. But what the fuck is wrong with you? Y'all are twisting this spiritual philosophy into a tool of emotional obsession. That's basically what y'all are doing. And the only reason why these coaches are so popular is because they have found this niche, which is very lucrative. Because remember what I said earlier, these type of services are highly requested, okay, in the spiritual community. And in the manifestation community, anybody that's out here, promising you that you can get your ex back without changing anything about yourself, because y'all don't want to work on yourselves. Y'all don't want to do that. Anybody, saying that they're going to help you get your ex back or help you manifest your crush, manifest a text from your crush, like, oh my God, it's embarrassing. Anyone that makes you seem like you're the operant power, because they love using that. It does feel empowering on the surface, right? It feels empowering. But what these people are really doing, ladies, is they are weaponizing spiritual language to soothe abandonment trauma without healing. That's what it's doing. Are these people scammers? Some of them are scammers, but some of them, like I said, and that's the crazy thing about it. This is the dangerous part about all of this. Some of these people really do believe in that shit that they're teaching. They really do believe in it. A real mentor, a real coach, a real spiritual practitioner, and someone that is educated in their practice, someone that reads and someone understands the universal laws. If they're going to help you create a loving relationship, they're going to be helping you to create that relationship from a place of wholeness, alignment, and self-worth. If these people are not telling you that you have to work on yourself and you have to love yourself, do not listen to them. Do not take any advice from anyone that never talks about the inner work. I just want to go back to Neville Goddard's teaching. Neville Goddard always advocate to living in the end. And I'm going to read a quote, all right? Before I read that quote, let me just remind you all, ladies, there is no lecture, book, or transcript where Neville Goddard directly say you can manifest a specific person. Then people on TikTok and YouTube or wherever you've seen these videos, these people are crazy, okay? because they got people obsessively visualizing someone texting them, journaling their name 55 by 5 times, or, trying to affirm them into submission. That is not never God. So this is the quote. Dwell in that end. Make it your dwelling place, your home. As you assume that you are what you want to be, you will become it. He never said, assume that the person that you want will become yours. That's not what he said, okay? He said, dwell in the end, make it your dwelling place, your home. As you assume that you are what you want to be, you will become it. So basically, what Neville Goddard is saying here is to embody the state of being loved, embody the state of being married, embody the state of being secure, and not forcing a particular person to be that source. That source has to come from you. That quote is from his book, Live in the End. This is another quote from Feeling is the Secret, because we did do this. We did read this book on my Patreon. Ladies, I hope that you consider signing up to the Patreon today. If you really want to change your life, I would recommend that you sign up. So, this is a quote from Feeling is the Secret. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. If this assumption persists until it becomes your dominant feeling, the fulfillment of your desire is inevitable. Here he's basically talking about states, feelings, and inner assumptions, not individuals, not people, not SP or specific person. So the wish could be, I am in a beautiful, loving relationship. It doesn't mean my ex Brad is begging for me back. Like, you all need to leave your exes alone. Your ex is an ex for a reason. Good Lord. And you all are probably wondering why I'm even talking about this. Because I've been in this level up community for a long time, and I've seen girls on the internet talking about finding a high value man, blah, 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 only to go back with a dusty ex. Some of them even went and had another baby with a dusty ex. I've seen it. So at the end of the day, this is one of the spiritual practice that I never liked. I don't think it's healthy. I think it's foolish, and I think it's an abuse of energy. I think what people are doing when they do this is incurring more karmic debt. You're not here to chase people or save people or elevate people above yourself. You're not here to do none of that stuff. You are here to work on yourself. You are here to discover yourself. And someone who loves themselves, okay, someone who loves themselves, someone that is very much balanced energetically in their chakras and everything like that, that person is not spending time and energy doing random love spells because they want this random guy to fall in love with them, or they want their ex back. Like, do you all know how low vibration that sounds? Like, I want my ex back. Please get me my ex back. You sound desperate. Like, stop. Like, just stop. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I left those Facebook groups. I couldn't take it. There were too much pick me energy in there. I got in there thinking that I was going to learn something. I learned nothing because desperate picnics will ruin everything. They're the same bitches that ruin the Black women in luxury Facebook groups. If you have been on Facebook around the same time that I was, there was these groups where women made on Facebook for Black women, and the group was about Black women in luxury and Black women aspiring to live a luxurious lifestyle. I would literally go into that group and I would literally see women making posts, like they will post some dusty ass guy or their son or their baby daddy or whatever, and they're gonna be like, Black men deserve love too. Like, why can't women create a space for themselves? Just for themselves. Why do you always have to include men or include this one and that one? Like, why? I just don't understand why some women don't love themselves, why some women are not obsessed with themselves. Because you attract what you are. If you love yourself and you're obsessed with yourself, you're naturally going to attract it. You're not going to have to do all these spells and pay all this money and, like, come on. Y'all are doing too much. Thanks for listening.